the Forum on Statistical Methods is really, this is the right time for it, because the statistics that we all learned when we were in graduate school are just going by the wayside. I mean, more and more you'll see reviewers saying, you know, you simply can't do that kind of analysis. And the authors are saying, well, then what do I do? This is what I know how to do. I have to go find another statistician to help me, and then they talk about things that I don't understand, you know. And so putting together some really clear papers that will explain what modern statistics looks like and helping people move from the things they know to the methods that will actually answer the questions they want to answer is going to be very helpful, you know. And we have some really great people in the field who have been guiding us through this process, you know. And I'm one of these people who I'm very eager, but I'm not a statistician. I'm not a mathematician, and so I have to have somebody explain to me why these things work. And once it's explained in a way that makes sense, then I can apply it. And you know, shortly after I've read these things, I'm, you know, writing in my reviews, oh, well, obviously you don't want to use this method, you should definitely use this other method, you know. And it's because it just makes so much sense, you know. I think that when statistics are explained well, it's just very obvious. You say, oh yeah, well, we can't pull apart these two things if they're completely correlated, so what do we do about it? Well, here's the solution. And I expect that these papers will really help people move through that process. So especially in our field, you know, we just never get the number of samples, the number of data points that the statisticians think we should have in order to do the kind of statistics that we're doing. And I've talked to a number of statisticians who basically say, you know, you just can't use those methods with those small numbers. And we traditionally said, well, what else are we going to do? And so now there are new statistical techniques that are coming through that really deal with this issue. And they say, you know, let's think less about just you know, the p-values, you know, the probability that this would happen by chance, and instead say, you know, what do we think the likelihood is of this thing occurring, and given that likelihood, do we think this is an important finding? You know, is it very likely that you would find this again if you reran the study, or not very likely that you would see it again? And that's just a different way of conceptualizing it, and it requires different statistics to answer that question.